Okay, so we are in Statistical Rethinking, second edition, chapter 12, and we're on the final question, 12H8. Okay, so we are once again considering the trolley data, and now we are going to kind of expand on question 12H7, where we were, trying to figure out a DAG and then the implied model from that DAG. Okay, so this was the DAG there. So we have age affects education, age affects response, and education also affects response. So that's the DAG that I came up with at least previously, and then that implied this particular model here, and I guess we'll come back and look at that in a moment. So, and now we are supposed to consider an additional variable outside of just age and education and response, and that is gender. Okay. And so we are here assuming that gender might influence both education as well as the response, right? So maybe males and females on average tend to have different responses to the trolley data conundrums and also are more or less likely to pursue more or less education or whatever. Okay. And so now we need to draw a DAG that includes that possible set of effects from gender. And then we need to determine if it's possible to still make unconfounded estimates of the effect of education on response. Okay, so I feel like this is just a mouthful here. So, so let's first just try to come up with a DAG that encodes this new assumption here. Okay, and so I'm doing that with the DAGity package. And so earlier I had trolley DAG, and so this is trolley DAG 2. And you can look at the code and how to reproduce this, okay? But whereas in 12H7, we just had this top part, age affects education, education affects response, and age affects response. We now have this additional thing here, sex is affecting education and response, okay? So this is our new DAG. And so the question is, can we still get an unbiased estimate of education on response? Now previously, the way that we did that, so if we just look at this top triangle here, we said, yeah, we can do that. We just have to condition on age, right? Because there's a backdoor path from education to age to response. So if I condition on age, then I close that backdoor path. So now the question is, well, now we have this new variable in here. Is it still possible to get a unconfounded estimate of the effect of education on response? Okay, and the answer is yes. So all we have to do is additionally close down this backdoor that goes education, sex, response. Okay, so so we would, in addition to conditioning on age, we'd also need to condition on sex. Okay, to close both these backdoor paths. Just very quickly here. You may think, okay, well, if I'm conditioning, well, you might identify this collider here, okay, education, and so in a vacuum, if we condition on a collider, then we're opening up all sorts of weird pathways that might go sex, education, age, response. But remember, we are closing down all of those paths by also conditioning on age and sex, right? So if we condition on age, education, sex, we're closing down all backdoor paths, okay? So what that means then in our model, well, okay, actually, so that's me going through the logic of the DAG here, but we can just also ask the DAGity package to do this for us with this adjustment sets, right? So it has my DAG, trolley DAG 2, and I say I want the effect of education, the exposure, on the outcome response, okay? And so I can just run that. And it says, okay, yeah, you can get an unbiased estimate if you just condition on age and sex in addition to education. Okay, so great. So that means that in our linear model that we found in 12H7 here, right, this part right here is really the only thing that needs to change, plus we'll have to have a new prior. But all we need to do is add an additional term in this linear model for sex. Okay, so if I just come down here, I'm not going to run the whole model. I don't think that the question is asking for it. But if I just take that line from the previous model and I just add a beta coefficient for sex times female, I would additionally need to give this a prior, but that would be that should give us an unbiased estimate, assuming that that DAG is correct. Okay, that is it for now, and I think that the next chapter, or we're on to the next chapter in the next video, which is chapter 13, models with memory. And so it's kind of an exciting chapter. So, okay.